Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Faith Promise, the In Your Pew game show that dares to answer all the questions you may have about Faith Promise here at Temple Baptist Church. I'm your host, Cheerful Giver, so grab your scorecard and let's get ready to play. We'll start off with question number 1. What does Faith Promise even mean? A. Faith Promise means that I promise to name my next daughter Faith. B. Faith Promise means by faith I promise to give X dollars per week to world missions. C. Faith Promise means I promise to be kind to small furry woodland creatures. That's correct. The answer is B. Faith Promise means by faith I promise to give X dollars per week to world missions. Let's go to Bobby for more information.
What does faith promise even mean? Perhaps the best way to answer this question is to insert the term into a sentence. By faith, I promise to give X amount of dollars per week to world missions. The promise to give is based upon the faith to receive. It is not a promise to give something you already have. That's not faith. It takes faith to promise to give what you don't have. Faith promise is simply claiming from the Lord an amount of money which you do not have in order that you might use it for world missions. The faith by which we claim the promise of God for His provision for the work He has commissioned.
Thank you, Bobby. Question number 2. How does faith promise relate to the tithe? A. The tithe is given through an act of obedience to God. Faith promise is given above the tithe through faith in God. B. Faith promise has nothing to do with the tithe. C. Faith promise relates to the tithe the same way sea monkeys relate to elephants. That's right, the correct answer is A. The tithe is given through an act of obedience to God. Faith promise is given above the tithe through faith in God. Let's go to Barb for more information.
How does faith promise relate to the tithe? The word tithe means 10%. The Bible teaches tithing as the minimum of our financial commitment to the church. The tithes are presented to the Lord as an act of obedience. But since the Christian is not limited to this minimum, and since we have the opportunity of living by faith, we may trust God for more. After all, the evidence is that God is ready to respond to our faith, not just our obedience.
Thank you, Barb. Let's move on to question number 3. Is faith promise a pledge to the church? And what happens if I make a commitment and then I'm not able to give it? A. No, it is a promise to God, and if He does not provide it, you don't have to give it. B. Yes, if you don't pay, we will send Steve Esterline to your house to rough you up until you fork over the money. C. Maybe. It depends on the type of day Steve is having and how much he likes you. That's right, the correct answer is A. No, it is a promise to God, and if He does not provide it, you don't have to give it. Let's go to Tammy for more information.
Is faith promise a pledge to the church? And what happens if I make a commitment and then I am not able to give it? No. Faith promise is a promise to the Lord, not to the church. And if God does not provide for you to give, then certainly no one would expect you to give it.
Thanks, Tammy. I hope you guys are keeping track in your pew. Let's move on to question number 4. How do I know what God will provide through me? A. You don't. So ask Pastor Serbaugh and he'll tell you to give everything that you have. B. Spend 3 days in meditation focusing only on the word panda. At the end of those 3 days, the answer will come to you. C. For how much are you willing to trust God? That's right, the correct answer is C. For how much are you willing to trust God? Let's go to Grace for more information.
How do I know what God will provide through me? Perhaps the best way to answer this question is with another question. For how much are you willing to trust Him? Prayer and faith are the 2 key factors in making this determination.
Thanks, Grace. Question number 5. Is faith promise based on the Bible, and how is it illustrated in the Bible? A. Yes, it is illustrated when God provided a ram for Abraham when he offered Isaac on the altar. B. Yes, it is illustrated when Elisha was taunted by some boys and God killed them with 2 female bears. C. No, it has nothing to do with the Bible. That's right, the correct answer is A. Yes, it is illustrated when God provided a ram for Abraham when he offered Isaac on the altar. Let's go to Mary for more information.
Is faith promise based on the Bible? How is it illustrated in the Bible? Yes, the Bible tells us that the just shall live by faith. We find this best illustrated when Abraham offered Isaac to the Lord by faith. Abraham didn't know exactly how God would provide, but he trusted him by faith. In fact, God so overwhelmingly provided for Abraham that he called that place Jehovah Jireh, the Lord provides.
Thank you, Mary. Question number 6. What is faith promise used for? A. The financial resources for worldwide missionaries and missionary projects of Temple Baptist Church. B. Marty's green fees. C. Pete's caffeine addiction. D. Purchasing a Harley for Pastor Serbaugh. E. Steve's bagpipe lessons. That's right, the correct answer is A. It is used for the financial resources for worldwide missionaries and missionary projects of Temple Baptist Church. Let's go to Michaela for more information.
What is Faith Promise used for? Faith Promise provides the financial resources for the worldwide missionaries and missionary projects of Temple Baptist Church. Information on the missionaries and projects is shared in a variety of ways through the year and is readily available through the church office.
Thank you, Michaela. Let's move on to our final question, number 7. How do I get started? A. Sign a pledge card confirming that you will give your firstborn child to scientific research. B. Fill out a faith promise card and drop it in the offering plate. C. Sit in your pew like always, doing nothing. That's right, the correct answer is B. Fill out a faith promise card and drop it in the offering plate. Here's Pete with more information.
So how do I get started? Determine through prayer the amount you believe the Lord wants to provide through you. Pray daily for the provision of that amount and stay alert to the numerous ways the Lord will provide. Extra income, reduced expenses, that sort of thing. When you receive these funds above your regular tithes, deposit them in the Sunday offering or mail them to the church. Please make sure your offering is clearly marked Faith Promise, and watch how the Lord will provide.
Thanks for playing along in your pew with us on Faith Promise, the In Your Pew game show that dares to answer all the questions you may have about Faith Promise at Temple Baptist Church. If you have any further questions, please feel free to call the church office anytime during the week. Have a great day.